He killed a family and stayed for 10 hours inside that house. He ate, treated his wounds. So why didn't he leave? A family lived in that house, a father, a mother, and 2 children. There was nothing unusual about them, nothing that stood out. They were ordinary, the kind of family you pass by every day without ever noticing. The father worked during the day, and when he came home, he made time for his children, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. The mother was quiet, not distant, just calm, the kind of person who made a home feel warm without saying much. And the children, they were exactly what you would expect. Playful, curious, full of small routines that made up their world. That day felt completely normal. They followed their usual schedule, came home, and closed the door behind them. Inside, everything was familiar. The soft glow of lights, the sound of a television, voices blending into quiet conversation. Nothing felt different. Nothing felt wrong. There were small laughs, short conversations, moments that would never be remembered because they didn't seem important. But sometimes those are the moments that matter the most because they are the last ones. No one in that house could have imagined what was about to happen. That this ordinary night would become something irreversible. It was around 11 at night. The streets were growing quiet as people headed home and the city slowly prepared to sleep. At that moment, someone was walking toward that house. He didn't hesitate. He didn't stop. His movement felt decided, as if this was already in motion. He climbed over the wall and paused briefly, not to reconsider, but to observe. He looked around carefully, the lights inside, the position of the windows, any sign of movement. Only after confirming it all, he went in. The house didn't resist him. He entered quietly and moved upstairs with controlled steps. Not slow, but not rushed either. Steady, like someone who already knew how this would end. And from that moment, something inside the house changed. It wasn't visible, it wasn't loud, but it was final. It didn't take long. Within a very short time, everything was over. The sounds faded and silence returned. A silence that didn't belong there. And even after everything ended, he stayed. This is where the story should have ended. In most cases, the killer escapes. They leave the scene, create distance, and begin to disappear. But this case didn't follow that pattern. He stayed. Time kept moving forward, and he remained inside that house. 1 hour passed, then another, and then another, until it became something difficult to explain. Nearly 10 hours. During that time, he didn't act like someone trying to escape. He opened the refrigerator and took out food. Then he ate, slowly, calmly, not like someone in danger, but like someone completely at ease. At one point, he even ate ice cream, not out of necessity and not out of panic, but like it was routine. He moved into the living room and sat on the sofa. Then he turned on the computer and used it. Not briefly, but as if nothing was wrong. Search records were left behind, clear proof of his presence, and yet he made no attempt to remove them. He used the bathroom ekai again, without hesitation, without concern. Instead of reducing his presence, he expanded it. He became more visible, more real. At some point, he treated his wounds. Because he had been injured, there was blood, there was contact, there was risk. And still, he didn't leave. Nothing about this felt random. It was controlled, measured, deliberate, not someone reacting, but someone following through. So what was this? Impulse or intention? Why stay when leaving would have been safer? And more importantly, what was he waiting for? When investigators arrived, they expected to find very little, but instead, they found too much. Footprints were clearly visible, the shoes were identified, and they weren't sold in Japan. They were made in Korea. Slazenger sneakers, a specific model, not common. DNA was also recovered, and there was enough to analyze, but the result only raised more questions. He wasn't fully Japanese. There were signs of mixed ancestry, Asian and European. Already the profile didn't fit cleanly. Then came the clothing. He had changed, but instead of discarding what he wore, he folded it carefully, neatly, as if order still mattered, as if control still mattered, even after everything that had happened. And then the bag. Inside, it was sand, but not local sand. It didn't match anything found in Japan. Instead, it pointed somewhere far away, the Nevada desert, a place completely disconnected from this quiet home. Each piece of evidence seemed to point somewhere, to suggest movement, to suggest direction, and yet none of it led to him. The investigation expanded, more people, more resources, more time, but the result remained the same. No identity, no confirmed suspect, no resolution. It was as if he had left everything behind, except himself. Theories began to emerge. Some believed it was a robbery, but nothing had been taken. Money remained and valuables were untouched. That explanation didn't hold. Others suggested a personal connection, someone who knew the family, someone with a reason, but no link was ever proven, no history, no trace of a relationship. Nothing tied him to that house. Another possibility followed: a foreigner, a temporary visitor, someone who entered Japan and later left. If that were true, tracking him would be nearly impossible. No records, no trail. But even that didn't explain everything, because every theory, no matter how different, ran into the same problem: his behavior. He stayed too long and he left far too much behind. A typical criminal tries to disappear, to erase their presence, to remove themselves completely, but he didn't. He left evidence, not randomly and not carelessly, but consistently, almost deliberately, as if it was meant to be found. So this didn't feel like a mistake. It felt intentional, almost like a message, not something spoken, but something shown. This wasn't just escape. It felt more like control. And maybe this was never about getting away. Maybe it was a game, a controlled sequence. Leave enough behind to create a path, but never enough to reach the end. Make it feel close, make it feel solvable, and then disappear completely. If that's true, then he didn't just escape. He planned to vanish from the very beginning. So who was he? This case never truly ended. More than 20 years have passed. Time moved forward, but the truth didn't. The house still stands, preserved, silent, holding the traces of that night. We know his DNA. We know what he did. We know how he moved. We even know what he wore, but we don't know him. No name, no face, no history. A person who clearly existed, but somehow cannot be found. And even now, he could be out there, living a normal life, blending in, just another face in a crowd. We don't know him, but maybe he understood something we didn't. And maybe that's why he was able to disappear. And perhaps, even now, he's still closer than we think. This story ends here. But in the darkness, Stories from Maine. Will you stay for the next one? Dark Case Hub.